Grand Prix circuit. We have 5 red lights. And away we go. The 2 McLarens on the front row. Who is going to get the better start? Seems like it's a fairly decent getaway from Michael. And is he going to stay to the racing line into turn 1? Yes, he is. Flores has to sit behind, and Flying Finn can't challenge him either, as Veloci Oli D as well defends from Alex and remains in P4 as Clarkey works his way up into P6. But it's still line astern as you were off the start for the front runners. And Michael has a reasonable gap to Flores. And it could actually be Flying Finn who's the one on the move as we come out of turn 5 and down Raffles Boulevard for the first time. Let's see if Flying Finn is anywhere near close enough to challenge either of those 2 McLarens. No, he is not, and he will have to sit behind. I believe that is Aresi and Curly perhaps going side by side towards the rear of the grid, as Lucas has lost a position as well, so he's down in P9 now rather than P8. But it's been a pretty clean start from everybody so far. Now Ollie D, I think, might be having a look at Flying Finn into turn 7. Flying Finn does not have DRS from the car in front. Ollie D in that Mercedes diving down the inside, and he gets his way through. A very nice move indeed. And now Williams, Alex as well, is going to be looking to follow him through on that Toro Rosso, but Flying Finn defends reasonably nicely in the end. It manages to limit the damage to only 1 position. So Ollie D with a very nice move up into P3. The man in the lead of the championship to lose the lead of this race to his teammate over a strategic decision. There is definitely going to be discussion going on at McLaren after this race. Where is Michael going to be? And they're going to be side by side as they go into turn 3. And Flores sneaks ahead of Michael. He has worked the undercut to perfection, and he moves into the net lead of this race, and that could be crucial. And Michael as well is going to have a bit of a watching brief here, but if Flores gets past, he needs to try and get past as well, otherwise he is going to lose time hand over fist here, and they are all incredibly close together. Flores needs to do something here to get past this Renault, otherwise his race is quickly going down the drain. Can he get past into turn 7? Is he going to go to the inside? No, he's not, and he's still behind over the kink, and that is allowing Williams, Alex, Veloci, Oli D, VSR Flying Finn as well to get close, as he's going side by side with Veloci, Oli D, and they will be going side by side into the next left as well. VGI and Lucas trying to get involved as well. They're getting very close to the wall, and VSR Flying Finn has managed to make that one stick. What a move from him, although Oli D swoops back around the outside to make that one stick as well, so defending very aggressively and very nicely, it has to be said, and they just about avoid making any more contact with each other, as that battle is getting very, very feisty with all of them incredibly close together. As whilst all of that was going on, Flores manages to get past over the kink as well, and Michael's surely going to try and get through now to avoid letting his teammate get away. Is he going to go for a dive? No, he's not, and he sits behind, and that could well be one of the defining moments of this race if he sat behind over the kink for much longer. Holding up Michael everywhere. Michael, though, will get better drive on the exit in overtake ERS mode, and with the DRS as well, should be able to breeze past. But that has cost him dearly. He's now out of DRS range of Flores, and Williams Alex is now directly behind him as well. As is VSR Flying Finn going to be looking to overtake Ollie D again? No, not quite, and he has to sit behind that Mercedes once again.
Trying to get past the Renault, who's getting all out of shape in sector 3, but to be fair to the Renault, great exit, but with the DRS, Alex may have a chance for a move into turn 1. He's going to go for it.
Down the inside is to tell when he's so late on the brakes, only just manages to get it stopped, taking a few liberties with the track limits on the exit, but manages to work his way up into P9.
Off runners later on when they pit for the faster compound, so I feel like they're all going to come together at some point. Those on the whack of the wall.
Finn massively in the wall there. But he could well be having a look at over the kick into turn 7, though this could be crucial for his race. He needs to get past now, and it looks like he has finally done that. And he now has a car between himself and VGI Lucas, who dives down the inside into the hairpin. What a move that would have been. He's so aggressive every single time he goes for an overtake. Over the kink now in that Renault is going very wide. He's all over the shop at this point in the race. I think Lucas now is going to be able to get through. He has lost a significant amount of time to Flying Finn though, and that might well cost him as Ollie D works his way past that Renault as well. He has to get past Big C now, otherwise he is done for. He's in the slipstream of that Toro Rosso, who's really struggling on his tyres at this point. 18 laps into this race, and he is yet to pit. Flores, though, looking to the outside. There's not a lot of space there. Is Michael going to try and get involved as well? No, not for now, as Flores swoops around the outside of Big C at turn 7, taking, again, a few liberties on the outside with the track limits, and Michael follows him through, diving down the inside at the next corner as well. So both those McLarens make quick work of Big C, and they are still nose to tail at this point in the race. Past Ollie D here, he could well be in with a fighting chance of picking up a podium here. He has the DRS, he has the slipstream, and Ollie D, if he's wise, is not going to fight this at all. So down the inside to turn 1 goes Deagle Killer and makes the move stick very, very easily. But let's go back. He's closed that gap from over a second to now 2/10 within, what, a lap, half a lap. It's just insane the speed that he has at this point. Through the final 2 corners, can he stay close enough to go from moving to turn 1? He might well be close enough, running in the highest ERS mode available, and he sets the fastest lap of this race. Down the inside into turn 1 he goes, and he moves himself up into P6. He is flying at this point in the race, as is Nardi, who moves past Ollie D as well. So both of these guys are putting in a shift at this point in the race. But Roy is so close to the back of Flying Finn, and it should be an easy move into turn 1 as Nardi sets the fastest lap in this race. He's certainly one that you cannot discount at this point either. So Roy in that Red Bull, having started in 15th place in this race, is now up in P4 and has his sights well and truly set on at least a podium here, maybe even more. Williams Jim Roy, formerly known as Deagle Killer, currently sat in P2 in this championship, is breezing past Williams Alex for P3. He started down in P15. He is working his way through the field incredibly quickly and has now worked his way up almost to the 2 race leaders. This is going to be some finish. We have 6 laps remaining, and he is definitely going to be on the back of those 2 McLarens before long. This could be the defining moment of not only this race, but the championship as a whole. As we start at lap 27 of 31, the 2 McLarens are fighting it out for the lead, but Williams Jim Roy, currently sat in P2 in this championship, is about to overtake the championship leader, and this could be crucial. He could cut that gap to as little as 10 points. Going into the remaining races of the season, he is so close to the back of Michael's car, and through turn 5, if he can get a decent exit here, he could have a decent chance. Down Raffles Boulevard and into turn 7 we go. Michael slightly in the wall. He does have DRS from his teammate, but is it going to be enough to defend Roy? Is he going to look to the inside at turn 7? Is he going to go for a dive on the championship leader? No, he's not. Michael goes defensive, but he's so late on the brakes. Somehow he manages to make the corner, but Roy has a much better run, and he somehow avoids managing to crash there as they both went for the inside. That was never going to work, and Michael manages to maintain the position for now. He is clinging on for dear life. He is under all kinds of pressure, and that's allowing Flores to get away. Roy looking down the inside. That is not an overtaking opportunity, and again Michael manages to stay ahead. Turn 5, can he get a decent run out of it? He needs good traction to have a prayer of defending, but he's not going to have a chance. Williams Jim Roy moving to the inside into turn 7. He has so much overspeed, and there is nothing that Michael can do about it, and he moves down a position into P3. Roy up into P2, and now he has the race lead in his sights. And Jarno is incredibly close to the back of his car, as is Roy actually to the back of Flores. Can he go for a move? No, not quite. He has to sit behind for now, but Jarno will go down the inside into turn 7, and he moves past Michael easily. So Jarno up into a podium position, and if Roy makes a mess of overtaking Flores, Jarno could well be in with a shout of winning this race. Roy, though, this is his chance. We are on the penultimate lap of this Grand Prix. Surely this is the opportunity for him to take the lead. He started way down in P15. He has worked his way through the field spectacularly with an unbelievable strategy, and now he has a chance to take the lead of this race, moving to the inside down Raffles Boulevard. Flores squeezes him aggressively towards the wall, but down the inside into turn 7 he goes. Flores is putting up one hell of a fight, though. Is not going to let him go easily. He dives back down the inside. It's the hairpin as well, and he's so close to the wall, and they make contact, and surely Flores has got to concede the position now. He's doing everything he can to try and fight, as Jarno might well have a chance here as well. And I think Roy at long last has got past. It's 3 wide into the next left-hander. Roy at long last takes the lead of this race, and Flores just about hangs on to P2 ahead of Jarno. That was incredible to see. Jarno's got to get a move on now. He has to get past Flores, and then he might well have a chance at trying to challenge Roy towards the end of this race. He's got to get past Flores here, though. This is crucial. If he can get down the inside of Flores into this next corner, he might well have a chance. Down the inside he goes. There's huge contact into the braking zone. They are still side by side. Jarno barges his way through up into P2, and he might well now have a chance of winning this race as Flores comes back at him. That is crazy, crazy driving from the McLaren driver. He'd kept it clean so much up until this point in the race, and he's just turned into complete madness as Jarno's in the wall. The Force India's lost his front wing. Lucas has retired from the session as well. The 2 McLarens are going side by side. McLaren and Flores. McLaren is turned complete turmoil here. Jarno's got a 5-second stop and go penalty. It's all kicking off on the final lap of this Singapore Grand Prix. The McLarens are attacking each other. Nardi's trying to get involved as well, and Jarno definitely has front wing damage, and all of that, they're going side by side again. There's contact between the 2 McLarens. Flores is off the circuit. Michael's just behind him again, and it's all kicking off here. The McLarens cannot help each other at all. They are destroying each other's races. Flores just needs to calm down a little bit. He's turned completely crazy in the last few laps, dive bombing people left, right and centre, and he's now destroying his teammates' championship bid as it's almost 3 wide down Raffles Boulevard again. Into turn 7 they go, and Michael is trying to get down the inside, and he's not made it work again. And now the Williams might be going for a double overtake on all 3 of them. There's more contact between all of them, and this has turned very messy very quickly. There's a bit of revenge going on here. I think Flores, though, is still ahead of his McLaren teammate. There's front wing littering the track everywhere. Is Nardi going to look down the inside of both of them? Not quite. And how this hasn't ended up in a massive crash, I have no idea.
Well, you can finally breathe, my friend. It's gone a bit Prost and Senna there from the 80s between the 2 McLaren drivers. It's got absolutely ridiculous stuff from the McLaren drivers. They've destroyed each other's races. They would have been on for a decent result regardless, but they may not end up with anything in the way they're going as Roy heads for the checkered flag.
So, what a race this has been. We've seen amazing race after amazing race this season, and this one has been one of the best once again. This has just been unbelievable to watch. The way this race has unfolded has been like nothing I've ever seen before. So, Williams Jim Roy, currently sat P2 in the championship, is going to be gaining points back on his championship rival, Michael, who is down in P5 at the moment. So, Roy will win the Singapore Grand Prix from 15th on the grid. That is unheard of, as Jana will cross the line in P2 but drop down because of that stop and go penalty. So in all of that, it's a Red Bull 1-2 from P15 and 16 on the grid. That is just insane.
Yes, it is typical, but that has closed the championship still further. The Eagles now on 200 points, and I think it's 12 points for 4th place for Michael, so that will be 205. So that's
wow.
5 points. I think the gap's now 5 points in the championship with 6 to go.
Wow.
If my maths is right. Don't quote me on that. My maths isn't great, but I think that's what it is.
Well, whatever the maths is, it's certainly very close. I can tell you that for sure. So make sure you definitely tune in next week. Do not go anywhere, because this title fight is going down to the wire. But there are confirmation of your results then. I imagine this is still subject to change, with various penalties getting removed and the stewards maybe having a thing or two to say about the events of those final few laps. But in the end, somehow it was a Red Bull 1-2 with Roy and Tim ahead of Flores in P3. And the 2 McLarens who looked set for a 1-2 for so long in that race ended up down in P3 and P4 and having a bit of a civil war towards the end of that one. With Williams Alex in P5 with a solid but quiet drive, doing well to keep his head in all of that madness. With Jana down in P6 after that penalty, I imagine that might get removed though, depending on what it was for. With VSR Flying Finn in P7 ahead of Nardi in P8, Veloce Ollie down in P9, and Curly Whirly picking up a solid point in P10 ahead of Clarkey, Alex, Big C, RC Alonso, Jay Thorne, Tyrrell Schnitzel, Over the Kink and VGI Lucas, who had a bit of a nightmare really, and that might well spell the end of his championship bid, unfortunately. That is going to do it from us. Thank you all very much for watching, and we will see you again next week. Goodbye.